Hello everyone. Today we will be dealing with the difference between inductive and deductive approach to research. I am Rohan Benelkar from Sanik Awasya Mahavidyalaya. So now let us be familiar with the basis of difference or the point from where we will discuss the differences between these two approaches to research. First is meaning, second hypothesis, third structure, fourth size of sample, fifth scrutiny, sixth time factor, seventh theory, and eighth approach. First of all, let us discuss with meaning. Inductive approach to research is the research approach that starts with observation and the end result is theory. While the deductive approach to research is the research approach that starts with the proposition of the hypothesis and the end result of this study or approach is confirmation or rejection. That is, from From this viewpoint, we can say that inductive approach is used to develop a new theory, while the deductive approach is used for testing the theory that has already been made. Let's move towards hypothesis. Inductive approach to research does not have any place for hypothesis, so researcher is free to alter direction of the study. While on the other hand, deductive approach to research starts with the hypothesis itself. The researcher is bound not to alter direction of the study. So, from these points, we understand that the inductive approach does not have hypothesis. So, the researcher can go to any direction, or he or she is free to change the direction of the study, and he or she can make his new theory. While the deductive approach is guided, it is guided by hypothesis or objective or the matter to be proved. So the researcher is bound not to alter direction of the study. He is focused. He has a guiding factor, a path, a track. Let us move towards another, that is structure. Inductive approach is less structured as there is no guiding factor. Deductive approach is highly structured because there is some specific aim to be accomplished. We have discussed this already in the hypothesis part, that is, inductive approach does not have hypothesis, so it is less structured, there is no guiding factor, the researcher is free to move in any direction, while the researcher following deductive approach is highly guided by the hypothesis, by his aim, so it is highly structured. So now let's move towards, that is, size of sample. Inductive approach is appropriate for small sample project because small number of samples are analyzed with greater gravity. Deductive approach is appropriate for large sample projects because large numbers of samples are analyzed with less depth. From these 2 points, we can we can extract the meaning that inductive approach is suitable for a small number of samples as it is as it is better for the least number and is analyzed with greater gravity, greater depth, while the deductive approach is appropriate for large sample projects because because it analyzes the large number sample with less depth. So the basic difference lies gravity and less depth. So now the another point is scrutiny. That is, scrutiny means going in more depth, more study, more rigorous, more scrutinized information about the subject matter. That is, inductive approach research deals with more scrutinized information about subject matter, so it takes more time, less sample, while in opposite to it, the deductive approach to research is based on less scrutiny in getting information regarding subject matter. That is, it does not go in depth. So, from these 2 points, we can conclude that the inductive approach to research is an is a microanalysis, while the deductive approach to research is a macroanalysis. So, these two terms, micro and macro, must be Remember, while dealing this point or while dealing these two concepts. So now the time factor. Inductive approach assumes that there is abundance of time, so depth analysis is possible. While deductive approach assumes that there is shortage of time, so depth analysis of large number of samples is impossible or unattainable. So the time factor is also an important difference between these two approaches. The theory. Inductive approach is concerned with building a new theory. Deductive approach is concerned with testing an existing theory, which I have discussed already in the meaning part. And the approach. Inductive approach to research is bottom-up approach. That is, it starts with observation and making a pattern and building a theory. It starts from bottom and concludes in theory, general to particular. It moves from general to particular, that is, observation from the general things, making a pattern, and going to a particular theory. On the other hand, deductive approach is top-down approach, that is, theory, hypothesis, observation, and confirm or reject. That is, from this from the point from the viewpoint of deductive approach, the theory is the theory is existed or the theory has already been made, and to test that theory, the hypothesis is made, that is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, and the observation is done for checking or checking the hypothesis, and if the hypothesis is correct, then the theory is correct, while the while the confirmation analysis is done in the hypothesis part, and this theory moves from particular to general. So in this point we can say that the inductive approach moves from general to particular, while the deductive approach moves from particular to general. You can see this figure and the cycle of deductive and inductive research. First of all, and theory is created, and the hypothesis and the empirical observations, pattern, and new theory developed. This figure shows the cycle of deductive and inductive research. That we can say that deductive and inductive research are not two very different concepts, but they are interrelated to each other. One is concerned with making a new theory, and another is concerned with testing that theory. Thank you for listening to this video, and